Hi, is that Peter?
Speaking.
Hi, Peter. It's Jason Curtis calling from South Africa to do the interview with you.
Hello, mate.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
No, not too bad, thanks. So, are you ready to go?
Sure am.
Okay, great. Peter, 21 years. Your reflections, sort of on the band. Have you sort of got to that point that you believe that you've achieved what you intended with the band so far?
That was achieved in the first year.
Why?
Making a record.
Okay, fair enough. And
Our aims were so modest, they were easily achieved.
Mhm. Okay, and now you've obviously you've just released 20,000 watt RSL. Besides the obvious singles that are actually on there, what was the criteria for the tracks that were included on that?
We just wanted to find things which fitted in with us. We imagined, we sort of had a fantasy of showing up unannounced at someone's place and just doing a set for them.
Mm-hmm.
What would we play? What order would we play as the songs? We didn't, we've never wanted to cash in too much on songs, so let's just find a bunch of tunes that hang together well. And these were the ones that ended up hanging together for us.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And now you've included 2 tracks from your forthcoming album. Usually on something like this, there's normally just the single track that'll be popped on there. For the fact of it being a new track. But you've chosen 2. Was that just because that's how it worked out, or was there any thinking behind that?
We really just wanted to throw 2 things on which gave a little bit of an indication of where we were going. I think that, we don't take the idea of a collection all that seriously. It's an opportunity for people to renew the relationship, maybe to update their CDs or their tapes that are getting worn out. But for us, it's very much a case of, we're not twisting one another's arms, but we're still trying to find new places to go with the music making, and we've already done another record, so this is sort of a taste of things to come.
And obviously you've linked yourself to many sort of important causes over the length of your career. I mean, obviously it's been written time and time again that your music has been a very important platform, for the various causes that you've aligned yourself with. Has the music actually given you sufficient platform to do that, and was that sort of part of the intention?
I think that's always been overrated, that sort of element of the band. The fact that we have songs that have meaning tends to distinguish us in a way which exaggerates the political element of the band, probably at the expense to some extent of the musical element or the humorous element. It's just one of the dimensions. The funny thing is, Jason, we don't see it as a platform.
Really?
If it was a platform, you'd be able to dive off it, or you'd be making speeches from it. In some ways, I think there's been a confusion in people's minds, because I've particularly gone off and, in a sense, got my hands dirty. That was because, in part, the songs have got to exist as songs first, and they rise or fall as songs, and we were prepared to do something about things which we disagreed with, and we believe that it's important to have convictions, but we never saw the music itself as providing the convictions. We thought we had to be convicted as people. We could even write silly love songs. It's just that we're not very good at silly love songs.
True. And so getting back to to the upcoming new album, the Redneck Wonderland album. You speak of it as being sort of obviously the tracks included on the current album, it being obviously proof of where the direction is going with the music. If you sort of had to sum up where that direction is compared to, say, Breathe, where would you say you are actually moving the music to?
I think we just, we're a bit like that Cure album, Wild Mood Swings.
Mm-hmm.
And we needed somewhere to park, for a while, and that was Breathe. We just wanted to park in a really soft little organic grove, which we did. And we were, we felt that record succeeded in doing that for us, and it removed all expectations, of people becoming rich overnight with your music. When you make a record like that, no one really knows what to do with it. Subsequent to that, of course, we had to have a violent mood swing in another direction, and in many ways, Redneck is, kind of a result of coming back home, just tasting the wind, seeing the wind blowing here, and how we feel about that. And also, I think, being prepared to absorb other influences and other technologies and forget everything you ever knew and start all over again. That's what you've only got a right to be a band, I think, if you don't repeat yourself.
Because I mean, obviously, in the fact that you've been doing this, say, for longer than 21 years. I mean, since 1971. How do you actually still keep that spontaneity and that freshness, which you definitely exude live? Because I was lucky enough to actually see you play at the Forum in last October. Yeah, and watching you there, and everything is still as vital, and the music is still as relevant. How do you actually retain that?
Well, that's nice of you to say that. It's, we're just not successful enough to get complacent. I don't know. We don't analyse that side of that much. I guess if I'm asked the question, Rob and Jim and Jeannie have been writing together for a long time, but Martin Rossi and I came into the band later. And it honestly doesn't seem that long to me. I mean, I can think of other acts that have been around longer. Mind you, not many. But it's all to do with not taking yourself too seriously and being, I mean, we've smashed the conveyor belt a few times. We're not interested in smashing TV sets so much as we are in smashing the conveyor belt up. And I think that we've done that a couple of times. We've just got off it, and just when we were about to break, in some ways, in the States, with a lot of touring, and everybody was getting very excited about the band, we decided we'd take a year off and go home, and whether that's such a good idea or not, in career terms, it's probably just been good for us in terms of freshness, because whenever we felt like we were getting boring, stale, and repetitive, we quit.
As I say, I mean, as you say, at the cost of possible bigger chart success, that obviously hasn't, as much as it's always a nice thing to have. It's always seemed to be in secondary to Midnight Oil as a band. Over, as you say, the music sounding good. Was that the motivation?
I think it was just trying to get to a point where nothing else mattered much, where the way in which you were throwing yourself at your music on the stage, it was kind of a blanket under which anything could happen. It wasn't just another item, within a day. And I think, we don't have any musical heroes, but we're absorbed by the idea that people can be absorbed by their music, whether they're classical players or buskers or, the old blues players from the Deep South or folk musicians and the Andes, you know. Anything but the Spice Girls, I guess.
Oh, shame. God, I hope so, for your sake.
And everybody else's too.
And if you have to sort of, as I say, looking back over the career, what would you still like to see happen with the band?
Oh, you know, a nice obituary. I don't know. I mean, you know, hopefully we'll still like one another when we finish playing, if we ever do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I think, you know, our ambitions are pretty prosaic and modest, you know.
Yes.
They're more to do with, you know, leaky taps than they are sort of palatial estates. We're really a fixing the leaky tap kind of band. I think, you know, obviously we want to mean something in our own country, and our music does mean something here, and it has for a long time. We don't want to lose touch with that audience. We want to break the generational straitjackets and the label straitjackets. And I mean, there's a lot of lazy thinking and superficial thinking about bands and music and culture, and I think we'd quite like to break down some of that just by confusing people and surprising people and surprising ourselves with what we're doing. And you know, as long as Keith Richards is alive, you know, then we've got hope, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And would you say, I mean, in as much as you've, as I say, you've written very prolific songs, you've, to say, you've done a lot in the career with the band, do you sort of honestly believe that you've made a difference on obviously a musical level as well as the other levels that you wanted to achieve on?
No, I don't think we'd be anything like that presumptuous. I don't know whether we've made a difference to anything at all. That's up to other people to say. I think that there are times when you look at what's going on and you think, well, you know, your impact's been totally nothing. Other times you might feel like you're a part of what's going on, but you know, we're not sort of advancing a master midnight oil plan for, you know, the brand new age of a wonderful universe, free beer. We're just really, I think, quite responsive, not particularly chart-orientated. You know, guys that did it themselves at the early stage, and that's really stuck with us. We really just do most of it ourselves, and we don't think too much about it.
Peter, could I ask you one last favour, if I may?
Sure.
Would you do a short ID for me? I'm going to be putting this out on a college radio show as well, on top of the print media that I write for. And as I say, the name of the show is The Cutting Edge. So could you perhaps play with that?
Yeah.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll just get around this corner.
Okay.
Hi, this is Peter Garrett from Midnight Oil, calling from Sydney, Australia, and you're listening to The Cutting Edge.
Thank you very much, Peter. I really, really appreciate that.
No worries, Jake.
And it's been a pleasure speaking to you. As I say, it was a great thing that I wanted to do. As I say, when I was in the UK last year, and ironically, I was in town to see Pearl Jam, and in the same week, you guys happened to be there.
Yeah.
All business, you understand.
We went to Pearl Jam next night as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
And as I said,
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a funny thing. Thank you for that. I don't. We seem to have gotten into a reasonably good headspace. I mean, the shows are, you know, they're not losing much. So occasionally we have nights where we feel, you know, we feel that we could get more out of it, but we're not thinking about too much of it. There seems to be a little bit of forward movement, quite a little bit of forward propulsion, and we're going to do quite a lot of playing next year. I don't know whether we'll get over to your part of the world, but we're certainly going to be on the road. So.
Excellent, excellent. No, believe me, I'll track you down because as I say, of all the shows that I saw in London that week, it was your show almost in its simplicity, I think, because it basically just exposed the actual vitality of the band that made it the show for me of all the shows that I saw.
Well, thanks very much for that.
No, great. But so good luck with the. Obviously, you don't need any luck with the 20,000 watt. But as I say, good luck for for the new album. I'm, as I say, looking forward to it, especially as I say with the 2 tracks that we've got to play with in the meantime. But good luck with it all, and thank you very much for your time.
Okay, mate. Thank you too.
Thanks, then.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.